Oh, balls. All right. Come on. Freaking load. Freaking load. Lagging. Oh, there we go. Only took 1,000,000 years. All right. Is there anything else? Hello, a single scarlet rose. What am I doing, nerd? How dare you? We are working on a character right now. That worked. Work. Oh, there we go. Okay. For now, we're moving the mouth around. But an odd spot. Looks odd. Better. So that's self-portrait. What do you think? Really quick. Go here. Scooch this down. Push it out on the side. Okay, that should be a lot better. A lot easier to work with here. Okay. I'm gonna flatten the roof of it. Mouths are kind of boxy. Kind of a boxy interior shape. Good. Okay. Wireframe there. Corner is still a little off. Hello. Do not know what you're saying, but I appreciate you commenting. Let's see. Found a good place. Well, welcome. Hello, hello. I don't think I'll be able to keep up with your conversation, but appreciate you coming by. We're making this guy right now. We've already got him baking for the most part. We're gonna make a bunch of NPC characters for Dungeons and Dragons, that kind of thing. He's got the Dilf vibe. I can set up an auto translator. That would be cool. Thank you. Appreciate the response there. Appreciate the compliment. Hey. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. Now working on this guy. We're gonna pull out his eyeballs in a second. As you do. As you do. And trying to find a good balance for just like a base body. A little difficult. Well, not sure the best way to approach it. I know I don't understand Japanese, but he's been through enough. But I appreciate your comments. That's it. Accidentally booted him from the stream. For some reason, he got a little groove appeared. Don't want that. Don't want it. Okay. Yeah, my goal here is to make a kind of a pipeline for NPC style characters. So we're starting with this guy. And we'll probably steal his feet once I sculpt them a little more thoroughly and slap them onto some other characters. Everything's already rigged, which is a nice part. Get the most important movement. It's like the eyeballs are missing some weight painting, and that's okay. And what I want to do is fix them. Something like this. And we'll do a retopology view. Gonna get this lined up right in the lippies. Gorgeous, beautiful, powerful. Looking good. Ah, my eyeball. Okay, so what will we need? We're gonna need some sockets. Could increase the number, but might be a good idea to look at the nuances. Oh. Oops. We shall see. I'm not quite sure what the context is there, but for now we're just gonna try to get them all situated. Ooh, there we go. I want to apply the shrink wrap modifier just yet. That'll be too much, too quick. Go up here. Alright. Something kind of like that. Alright, we got our exports already set up, which is super nice. Now we get our teeth up in there. Teeth are pretty narrow, actually. Squish it in a little. Is that enough space? I'm going to turn on auto weighting, auto masking. I want to move the mouth. Just going to try to fit these teeth in a little bit better. Something like. There we go. Normal to roll your tongue though. There we go. Oh, we're missing the tongue. So, turn this back on. Turn these ones off. Export my collections. Go back here. Refresh the mesh. Bake. And let's see how the baking goes. Turn on all our maps. Bake. A little bit better. When you wrap it, it gives you strength. The wonders. What? Getting this weird cut there. Look at this. little close to the edge here. Margins look fine. Must be the it's a shrink wrap. So we're gonna have to apply. Close it. And then just make sure we unwrap to adjust it. That should be better. Don't have any sort of subdivision. Back here. Refresh the mesh, bake again. Looks better. I wonder if it's a artifact from substance. Load Unity. And we're going to export these right now just into our current folder. Come on. We go back to Blender, and we go to editing. Getting sampled. So that's still showing up. Excuse me. Thank you. Oh, you know what? This isn't the latest version. Still showing. Okay. So why is that? Alright, I'm back. Thank you. Thank you. Let's look at our normal map. More directly. It does seem like there's a sampling error on the edge. We go to here. Ah, that's what we need. Diffuse. It's still there. That shouldn't be happening. Thank you. Here's an avatar we finished recently. Just finished him yesterday. Raptor Dinosaur Man. Got these nice little feathers. Scales and stuff. Dana Solman? Dinosaur. Are you talking about the pants? It's a commission. That's a client request. But the VR chat avatar. You're familiar with VR chat. So we've got all these different features. Tail moves. His feathers move. Do toggle the genes. I'm getting a phone call. 1 second, everyone. Alright, I'm back, y'all. Oh, actually, I've got it again. Alright, I'm back. So, we're working on the VR chat version of the boy here. Getting our basic textures and stuff set up. Start this. A little bit of rim lighting goes such a long way to making the character look better. Looks good. We hit him with the subsurface scattering. Never gotten the subsurface scattering to work properly. Sad, honestly. Looks good. Get some eyeballs in here. Some balls. I don't even need to do this. I can just do this. Or, sorry, wait. Go there. This should include the eyes. Okay, looks okay. I like it. I like it. Need some coloring in the face. The lips need color. Nostrils need to be dark. Maybe some stubble or some painting. Oh, wait. Eye textures. So, I do have where did I put it? It's our auto eye baker. We're gonna move this up into VR Forge. Right here. Resources. Where is it actually? Avatars. Avatars, human male faces. I'll just say shape keys. Sure. Eyeball. Eyeball. Probably save this as like Loading! Oop. Small. Creepy. Much creepier than I thought. Let me think about that. Do I want to increase the texture size or do I want to change my UV map? I actually think I want to change my UV map. Because if we look at the body, like I just don't need the seam to be way out there. I think like right there. Well, maybe it should be out that far. Because if we look at the texture, this outer. Oh. Oh. Don't like the fall off here. I guess I could just scale it. I could make this small. And just scale it up here. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh. guess I could just delete it. Delete the texture. And then just drop it in one more time. Wow. Good. Hello, Namers. Welcome. How you doing? We're just farting around with some eyeballs. NPC time! Indeed, it is NPC tiempo. We're just feeling out what this character looks like right now. And most importantly, how we're going to be able to take this base character, make a lot of variations quickly. What was my process for this one? So I had some base models. My body factory here. So I took some pieces and then just kind of like this one, this guy here. So pretty much this face already, I already had. I've got quite a few faces we'll be able to throw together, but it's all the same mesh. All the same mesh. In fact, it's already a rigged mesh. So they're basically already rigged. They already have vertex groups on them. All I have to do is kind of tweak my rig itself to match these characters. And it should work pretty well. And yeah, so, but I've got my little setup here. High poly, low poly, and then we're baking it in substance. But yeah, we're refining my process more and more, and I feel like the loop of work is just getting tighter and tighter, smaller and smaller. Hopefully, you know, we could get down to like some crazy figure, like you know, an hour character. Who knows if that's possible? But fingers crossed. Yeah, your very own creature shop. Exactly, exactly. A little more to do on this guy. We need to get the teeth in there. A few more things to really get it ready to rock and roll. Overall, it looks pretty good though. Maybe a little too glossy, but I think for a character, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Anyway, how's your morning going? This one for a project or selling? Both. So my goal is to build up a library of characters that I can use for my own projects and then sell them at the same time. Yeah. I'm excited. Thank you. Yeah, I think baking is like my number one thing now. It really is like the fastest way to make things happen. It is, yeah. Almost all of the coloring here is just from the curvature map and then the ambient occlusion. Go in and kind of block out some of these other spots like his nostrils and stuff. Not sure how much painting I want to do. It depends on the character. But we can do stuff like this now, where we could give him a little tint, change his color. It's a little strong, but actually I think there's a better way to do that now that I'm thinking about it. Whatever, I'll deal with it later, but yeah, hopefully a lot of variations. Still missing some stuff though. I feel like it could be one of those muscle guys that looks scary, but it's actually a little sweetheart lol. I like that. I like that. Any specific plans for this guy for your project? At the moment, not particularly. I knew I wanted like a guard, someone who'd be like a good guard character, or a thug. So kind of want him a little threatening looking, a little beefy. Other than that, I was thinking like a Dishonored kind of style character. That was just kind of the general idea in the back of my head. For D&D? Exactly. How's that been going? Any more advances in the VR D&D space? We actually did kind of me and my brother and some other buddies. We went and we made kind of like a space in Resonite to do some VR D&D, and it came out okay. A lot of things learned. D&D is a little bit more difficult than I expected to do in D&D, so I think like if I'm gonna do a campaign, there's probably quite a few things I'd like change about it, just to speed it up, especially combat. Combat is super slow. One second, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Just had to step away for a second. Lots to figure out to streamline the gameplay. I'm sure making things intuitive is always the struggle, though. It really is. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think I'd love for communication is absolutely 100% the hardest thing about combat in VR or D&D. Is like, it's just really fucking hard to hear people a lot of the time. They're like, what was that? They're like, oh, I'm doing this, and then or two other people are talking. I mean, I just think in VR in general, how sound works is really challenging. It's definitely not how our ears actually work, or how sound travels in an actual physical space. Like playing D&D from across the actual room from each other, Lamau. Exactly. And there, you cannot talk over each other, but generally you have a better idea of what's going on. And even like in one of the things we were doing is like, someone's 80 feet away in virtually, and they're like doing stuff like shooting arrows and stuff, but there's just no way you can really hear them. And even then it's like you can barely tell what they're actually doing. So there does seem to necessitate this, like being able to scale up and then look at the whole board and then scale back down. It's like some things like that seem necessary for it to really flow well. Or on the other hand, you would have to do something like just embrace the fact that you can't know what other people are doing. Either way, there seems to need either some changes and tweaks fitting it to VR. I really need to play the Demio game. I've heard good things about it, and it seems like they've kind of figured out a good combo, good middle ground for it. Demio is like kind of VR D&D. It's more like board gamey. You can't put in custom content and stuff like that, so it's kind of a walled garden. I think that's my biggest gripe with a lot of VR right now. It should be an open platform. You should be able to throw your custom content in there, but right now it's not quite the case. These are too dense. Like you're playing as a character in first person, or you're floating above the play space. I believe you can swap between the two, and that's what I think you need to be able to do in VR D&D if you're going to play it like normal D&D. You need to be able to have that back and forth. Otherwise, it just feels kind of odd, to be honest. But it's also really fun to have both of those perspectives of the world too. Sometimes I think so. What I found, what we did find that seems to work, is just people really in VR. The role playing part of D&D is way easier and way more engaging, which is super cool. Um, Makes sense, right? You know, I suppose that's kind of what you'd expect, but actually experience, it's like, oh, yeah, this is working well. Excuse me. How to integrate the teeth nicely. That work. Okay, so for all of these, we will include them directly in their correct folders here. But what do you get? Different camera perspectives on screens or something in VR chat, so you can still see and hear people from far away, like a follow cam when the group starts getting split. Ooh, actually, a little camera, like a drone or something you could fly around, like looking at a little iPad or something. That'd be cool. How to properly. Would have to be something that doesn't take you out of the immersion, though. I'd love like a fully immersive one. We're not quite there yet, but maybe at some point. Hmm. Okay, we'll just have to have a. Thinking of like how they do concerts with the big screens for the people in the back, something similar to that. Well, hopefully I'll be able to get you in sometime soon. I'm hoping within this next week or the week after to start doing these smaller tests. I'd love to on stream bring people in and run them through like a dungeon of some sort. I'm thinking like a very lethal dungeon crawl once a week. I think that'd be super fun. Are you in your transition phase, going into your own work full time now? Yes. Yes, we are. There's still some commissions I have to wrap up, but we're whittling them down. I've got 3 main ones left, and then we'll be moving on. I'm kind of changing how I do commissions. I'd love to still be able to do some commissions, but how I approach them will be quite different, I think. Hmm. I think I'd have to work directly with people more often, artists like yourself. Um, focus more on like a pipeline and a team-based process than me doing like take on more of an art director role than a focus on building pipelines, sharing skills, coordinating people, things like that. We're gonna do manually. All right, so for the teeth here, we're gonna introduce one more geonode, which we'll call offset. And what we'll do a geonode, offset. Should be pretty simple. We'll just do set position on the geometry and then put the offset right here. That's all we really need to do. And then I can take all the top teeth. In fact, let me just turn off the lower choofers for now. Take all these and really matter. Say 1. Now the top teeth are up there. Great. Selected. Change this slightly. We'll do 0.8, 0.9. Copy this to all these ones. Like so. Okay, now we've got a nice little setup where we can move the teeth around. Need to. I think in the future I would do it a different way. I'd probably make an empty object and then move it. The empty object, because that way I could just disable it or not have it. Anyway, doesn't matter. For now we have it set up like this. Yay! Go to body low poly. Select everything. Go to UV editing. Go one at a time through the teeth, ensuring that they're to go. Good. Molars are all awesome. They share a lot of data though. But I'm excited. Feels nice to actually be in a position to start focusing on the things I've been wanting to do for quite a long time. I mean, I think I've pretty much been talking about this since we've known each other. So... It's happening! It's happening! I could set up a more complicated geonode bullshit, but I'm not gonna do that. Bada boom. Good enough. Okay. Do this like 8 more times. I should have been unwrapping these as soon as I was making them. That would have saved me a shit ton of time. After these, I'm gonna cheat and do object, link object data. I only have to unwrap this one. That's a lie, it's already unwrapped. User, something's wrong. There we go. All right. So now we have these 2 chunks of mesh packed, unwrapped at least. Ooh, that's what I should do. For my rapid update, what I should do is add a remove fire. If a modifier is named remove, move the modifier in applying it. That's going to be super useful. Because that way I can have them in the big position with this offset. And just be really confident that when it's actually applied, everything gets put in the right position and it's good to go. That would be really nice. But for now, we can bake. All right, turning on both collections entirely. We are missing Okay. Alrighty. We'll go with that for the tongue. That's pretty good. Maybe a little big. Okay, tongue low. We've got the mirror subdivision on it. We've unwrapped it. What else would we need to do? I think that's about it. We'll just drop it. There. Make a collection for it. Tongue LP. Then we will duplicate the collection. Link these objects together. Rename this one to I. Rename this one to HP. Move this up to the other collection. Perfect. Beautiful. But we do need that offset on both the tongues. So take this, click this, copy to selected, then we can take just the tongue. We'll keep it called offset teeth, but we'll change it to 0.95. Copy to selected, then we can turn on both of these. Gorgeous stuff. Any reason why you're making a new teeth and tongue? Just a refresher. A lot of the other tongues I have are built for anthro characters, so it's been kind of funny because I've made a lot of similar things, but most of them are for anthropomorphic characters. So I'm kind of creating a human-centric ones now. All right, I think we're good to export now, or the high poly at least. And for the low poly, our stats at 22,000. I think that's perfect. Ooh. Though the toes are definitely messed up. So I'll have to figure out a better way to get those working. Toes are one of the trickier things to bake properly. Fingers, you can kind of splay out nicely and it still works, but toes, usually you don't have toe bones. You know what? I could totally make toe bones and not have them export. Isn't there a temporary bone sculpting tool? I've never used it, so I indicate how good it is. Bone sculpting? I think pose mode would should cover most things. I don't think I've ever used a bone sculpting tool. I'm not sure what that would be exactly. The sculpting tool, that's a pose tool. Interesting. Oops, I forgot to remap all this. Let's roll this thing. Literally called pose lol. Huh. I don't think I've ever used that. Oh, gotcha. Sorry. This one here. This is, as far as I understand, this is not a temporary edit. You can use it like you're posing things. Very useful for IK, but I don't think it's a temporary edit. When you make that edit, you're sculpting just like other sculpt tools. Gotcha. I see what you mean. Sorry. I guess I was confused on the language there. Yeah, I think that tool. I think that they've made one. I don't know if it's in this version of Blender, or another one, but you can use it with the cloth simulation sculpting tools. Now that seems really useful to, like, you can make like a sheet that fits an arm and then bend it into place, and you'll get the wrinkles in the crevice and stuff. I was like, dang, that's awesome. Artist Griff. Hello, Artist Griff. Hello. Been a while. Hope you're doing well. I kind of, I wouldn't say took a break from working, but I did take a break from streaming for a little bit. But I'm back, ready to attack. The baked UV is always so haunting. He's whispering sweet nothings to us. Only when you sleep, though. Alright, that looks good. I think the colors are a little strong for the mouth colors. Probably put it down a little saturation-wise. These guards must have amazing dental care. Well, part of the reason I set it up like this with all the teeth and stuff is it's going to be easy to go back and remove some of the teeth. That way we can fuck up their dental care. Where's the mouth interior? What material did you do for the skin? They have a, I believe this comes with substance. It's just a skin human flat. I just dropped that right in there. I have a question. In Blender, is there a way that you can unwrap your UV and the normal bump file automatically gets adjusted? Um, there's a way you can create scripts to do that, but Blender out of the box does not do that. Um, what you could do is re-bake. Now, it wouldn't be baking in the typical sense, but what you could do is set up a little shader to, let's see. So you'd have, let's say, this plane here. So you have your UV map for your plane. So you have your UV map A, right? So your first UV map, the one without any changes, and then you make a second UV map where you change it. So we go back and forth, you see we have these two UV maps. So you can kind of swap between them. Now what we can do, or we'll call this texture swap. But basically, right. So what you do is you kind of set it up like normal using the original map. So we have this principled BSDF. I usually, if I'm rebaking textures for simplicity, I always plug it into the emission. So let's say I'm not going to put a texture in, but basically you'd want it to be using your UV map. And your UV map is very similar to how you'd normally set up your shader. I'm just plugging it into emission because it's easier to sample the emission when you're baking. You have your UV map, the original one, and then you get your baking texture and you swap it to the second UV map. You put this right here. This is your baking one. And this way, you have the image texture selected. You go to cycles, go to bake, and you would bake emission, which I already have set up. So basically, your texture is displaying the original one, but it's baking to your other UV map. And so if I click to bake, it would bake to this position. So if you want to, I'll just kind of load this up, leave it right here. So this should be basically what you need in order to begin making edits. You can sample your original position and put it to the new position. Now, none of this is like built in. I think you also need to make sure that you have your new UV map selected. So you have to have the image texture you're baking to selected. You have to have the UV map that you're baking to selected. And then you could go and hit bake. Now, the biggest issue with this is that you'll still have to use Photoshop to actually merge, to kind of combine your new and old texture. Like say you had, so this is kind of a way you can start doing that. There's definitely going to be some manual aspects to this, like making sure your images combine, you composite them correctly. Or generally this would work. I think you would just want to make sure that you're baking. Yeah, absolutely. So I guess there is a way to do it in Blender, but not necessarily a streamlined one. Sorry to yawn there. What am I doing now? I think I need to go and update my script. My add-on here. I'm going to take this, copy it, go to archived, paste, and rename this to E2 in case I ever need to recreate this. And then we're going to save this here. Go into a new one, open up cursor. Okay. So what we want to do is when assessing modifiers, if a modifier name has the prefix remove underscore, we will remove the modifier instead of apply. It's pretty simple. Okay. Save that. Go here. Delete this one. Send to compressed. Go to Blender. Preferences. Rapid. Uninstall. All from disk. Really wish there was a faster way to do that, but we'll go back to Daro, don't save. We're gonna make a backup copy. With the one. Free modifier. Okay, perfect. So now, on our low poly teeth, actually for all the teeth, what I would like to do I could remove. We're gonna make one more little script. It'll be new file, remove modifier with name. Create a Blender Python script that removes modifiers in a target in the active collection with a target. Move modifiers with name. Okay, go back here. Scripting. Open. It improperly. This should have dot UI at the end. Okay, so that means I should be able to go here. Well, rename just the top one. Copy this one. And what am I doing? And then so now we've got the target collection. We're going to remove the collections with the name offset. Perfect. So now the modifiers for offset teeth are removed from all of these. Beautiful. Then do the same with this collection as well. Just to confirm, we still have it. Alt-P, run the script. We've now removed it from all these objects. All right. Then we can go back to this one. Actually, okay, good. Wait, how's it up here still? I only removed it from the low poly, the lower T. So let me select this again. Boom, boom, copy, selected. This one should be 9. It's right here. We can't really see it. Oh, okay. Not 9. Why not? So now it's down here. Now on all my lower teeth, with the high poly and the low poly, we have remove underscore offset underscore teeth. Beautiful. That's what we want. Now we can set them up for baking, but they will automatically go back down to the correct spot when we are compiling them. Version. Awesome. That's the lower teeth done. Lower teeth done. Now for the tongue, pretty straightforward. I'm just going to add remove underscore remove the high poly. Making my life a little bit easier in the long run. Basically, I've made this add-on called Rapid Update. And what it does is it takes collections and combines them all into your target object while leaving the original objects, the original collections alone. So you can basically have like a working version of your character. So that's why I have all the teeth and the gums separate. They're all completely separate, ready to bake. But when I'm exporting, I have a version where they're all combined down into. But there's some differences in positioning that I'd want between the game version and the baking version. This way, I can have a baking version. There's just one object that correctly sends itself to the baking version properly, to Substance properly, and then also sends itself to VRChat properly. Saves me mucho tiempo. At least it should. About to find out. See, like I made a little geonode on modifier that moves them up here. So that way for all these objects, I can just move them up here, get them out of the way for baking. But when I'm actually combining them, they go back down to the original spot because those modifiers are not going to be applied. So for example, here, we don't have any teeth in there yet. And we still do. That's because I'm not selecting it. I guess I can just put this back to body. Now the teeth are in there. And it's that easy. And then I've created another little workflow that's super helpful where I can take a shape key and put that into a geonode, so it's no longer a shape key, but the geonode works like it. Super useful. And technical stuff, but I'm really satisfied. I feel like my ability to work with Blender is just on a whole nother level now. Yeah, basically I have same add-on. I'm probably gonna put this add-on up for sale soon. But basically, yeah, I've created this add-on here, this shape key right here, shape key converter, shape key attribute, attributes to shape key. So that way I can bake my model with the mouth open, but on the fly. Give it to do. Let's call this lip closed. Set that to 1. Let's do this. I'm going to close the mouth, and then I go down here, shape key to attribute, hidden now. Then we can add stuff to actually get that geometry node from. Ooh, I'm hungry. Got my tummy rumbling. Where did I save it? Mark. Attribute to offset. Add geonode. Attribute to offset. I believe it was lip close. Lip close. SK lip closed. Oh. A little different. We missed. But super nice stuff. I feel like I'm getting more procedural with my workflow all the time. And then when I want to edit it again, I can just go back down, attributes to shape keys, go up to the shape key, turn it on. Looks like it didn't move this one the same way I'd expect it to. Interesting. Wonder why. But it's pretty much there. Funny, it's just that single one. Oh well, we'll leave it there for now. But by leaving it in the stack and disabled, I can export it to Substance Painter, mouth open, but then I can update my model and it'll be closed. Oh. Oh. I don't know why that's a little goofy. This one should have closed. I've got my face rig all set up, so I can just go in here. I do want to I'll probably want to switch everything to using ARKit instead of VRM or biseams, standard biseams. What are we missing right now? We are missing the teeth weight paints. We go up here. We do need to add all of these. Some groups. What are those group names? Those group names are here. Start with top. Weight painting, so top. X is just the middle group. It's here. L goes here. Should be dynamic, yep. Don't go here. Boom, boom, boom. And it should be bot. Gorgeous. And now for all the teeth, we'll do is add a data transfer at the bottom. Vertex data, vertex groups, nearest face interpolated. It should work okay. And then for all of these teeth, I'm going to select them, select the bottom, do object, link, transfer mesh data, vertex groups. I would like to transfer all the groups. Perfect. And it should be fine at the bottom of this stack. And I'll go here, copy this over as well, but we'll just swap this to this, and boom, object Copy mesh data, vertex groups. Now they should all have the top. Yay! And then they just all need the whatever this is. What am I saying? Data transfer. Blah, blah, blah. I can talk. Definitely getting hungry now. And then here, one last group to add, which is the dong. I can always forget. Is it one front to back or back to front? So the first one is 3, and that makes sense because it's descending the hierarchy. Okay. Like most bones. So, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Got what the exact name is. My tongue has been back to front since birth. With some super glue, we can fix that. All right, good stuff. So now, like that again, down to the bottom, looking at the body. I'm gonna go ahead and rapid update again. And this should give us them 2 first. We look at the rig here. Those canines are a little overpronounced, but the mouth is moving. Cool. We can save that, take this, bake the shape keys. That breaks because why? Because I need to name the armature, which I really should fix that. I don't really want it to do that. And that means it's also going to break on the eye selection part. That didn't work. Talking time lapse. Oh, it's baking everything. We'll do just VR chat right now, but I am going to change that later. I'd much prefer to only use ARKit blend shapes moving forward, even to create just the expressions. That'll give us a really good start. So, all right, back to here. It's gonna break. Oh no, he looks pretty good. It's not gonna break. but should have. All right, do classic model, legacy blend shapes, read right, rig, humanoid, animation, none. Everything's good. Let's do this now. Blank, 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 up, down, nah. Yeah, those canines are really way too big. Even, and yeah, the spacing here could use some tweaking. The bottom teeth look really good though. Everything's a little too bright, a little too clean. But still satisfying. He's Heisenberg-esque. I see that. I see that. I am the danger. So what's nice now is since we have the teeth, making further changes and stuff is going to be pretty straightforward. Because I can take these teeth, take these eyes, take the body. I think I'm already within the possibility of doing a character an hour. At least a body-wise. When I get back from lunch, I'm going to go on lunch in about 20 minutes. We're going to try using Meshy, which is like an AI to mesh thing, to create outfits for him. Then we'll follow up with some hair. But he's looking good. Looking really good. That's too much. Moving his nose. Definitely left over from the Anthro setup. You got the all-over clean-shaven look. Mr. Clean. We didn't set up the eye bones. Have to go fix that. Hello, Sudo. Welcome. How's your porting of your game project to Unity going? Just working on some sort of. We're sticking with doing VR chat, making avatars and stuff, but we're basically going to be making a bunch of NPCs for VR chat, Resonate, bunch of. My goal is to start making a lot of products, not necessarily to make a game. A lot of products that could go in games. So, basically going to make a NPC warehouse, basically. My goal is, you know, that Westworld scene where they've got like the warehouse full of bodies. That's the long-term goal. Unity is slowly killing me. Well, it reminds me of that meme, like, Don't let someone else ruin your day. Open Unity and ruin it yourself. Well, hopefully the end's in sight. What? It's not in sight. Uh-oh. What made you decide to switch to Unity? Ah, interesting. Are you planning on doing a bunch of like swarms of enemies and stuff? Oh, that looks pretty good. Anything I need else to do right now? Oh yeah, the eyes. Need lots of NPCs walking around the city. Interesting. Got another 15 minutes, and then it'll be lunchtime for me. I'll be back a little later. But for now, we'll keep working. I really shouldn't capitalize anything on iBones. Found out the Dots doesn't have a vehicle system, or found out though the Dots doesn't have any vehicle system or any AI tooling. No, it's pretty, as far as I can tell, it's just a very low level system that you can do stuff like that with it, but it's not necessarily ready to go out of the box. I can speak. Your beat sounds good. All right, so I should have my groups now. Perfect. Put that up. Alrighty. So now I should be able to link these up to the eyes. Let's add the gesture manager. See how he's working. Oh, we've got to unhook the jaw. Cool. Not too bad for right out the gate. We could do some better gestures. Oh, yeah, look at that crunchy finger. Overall, pretty fun though. All right, Body Warehouse continues. Looks like we missed some weight painting on the eyes there. Got the Nosferatu fingers. It's over there. So dramatic, this music. What is missing here? So all my eyebrow bones are pointed the wrong way? Please. Traveling through space and time. Okay, there we go. Fixed. Is what I need to do next. I have a text file that contains a tuple and create a drop down in the rapid update to 3 apply the keys update. I don't want to have to do that every time. Oh! Also include logic to convert point vector attributes to shape keys. So try out Obsidian. How you liking it? I've been loving it. It's great, honestly. It's super cool. I really am satisfied just like making these little graphs and stuff. I'm like, look, they're like little fishes or something. Very satisfied with it, to be honest. I think, and now I have it synced with my phone and my iPad as well, and it's just like, I always tried to use Google Drive for like keeping notes or journaling and stuff, but frankly, it's just a pain in the ass to use it. This is great though. I really haven't had any complaints so far, so it's really nice. And then I've been using it to do like D&D planning and stuff, so I'm kind of hoping to really use it as exactly as it intended, the second brain thing. Because Lord knows I need another. Yeah, I've been really liking it. It's good. Very good. Whew. I always need a backup brain on hand. Okay. Can we get the shape keys made? Yes. Oh. Still something really off with my normal bake here. I don't know why I'm getting such sharp edges here. Is it the mesh itself? I don't think so. I could see that. And they're not separate, so it has to be the texture. I guess I have to assume that the margins are a little too small. All right, well, this is a good time for me to go on lunch. We made some very solid progress. And I think we've got our body workflow down. Amazing, Lamau. Thank you. All right, Nammers, thank you for hanging out with me this morning. Hope you're having a good Saturday. And everyone else that's lurking out there, Pseudo, good luck with your Transfer the Unity project. Definitely understand that being a pain. And Griff, thank you for coming by. Also hope you're having an amazing weekend. And everyone else that's lurking. If I don't catch you in about 2 hours, because again, I'm just going on lunch. I'll see you in about 2 hours. Enjoy your weekend. And hopefully I'll catch you next week. I'll be back soon. See you, everyone. Have a good night. See you later. See you later, neighbors. Bye, everyone.